welcome to your Superman news video recapping the events of the week January 23rd to January 29th, 2015. Our top news stories in this week's Speeding Bulletin included the Supergirl TV show casts its Jimmy Olsen, Jude Law explains why he once turned down the opportunity to play Superman, and we get a sneak peek inside the upcoming Superman Earth 1 Volume 3 graphic novel. Let's check out these stories and more in this week's Speeding Bulletin. In movie news, Amy Adams revealed to the Press Association that she had a lot of fun returning to play the role of Lois Lane in Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, while also stating that Ben Affleck will bring his own unique touch to the role of Batman. She said, "I was only in one scene with him, I think I'm allowed to say that, so I didn't get to see much, but what I saw was fantastic." In an interview with Variety.com, Jesse Eisenberg indicated that he'd love to reprise the role of Lex Luthor again after Batman v Superman. He said, "I would love to, it's a great group and director and the most ideal character to play." Rumour has it that Eisenberg could reprise the role in the upcoming Suicide Squad movie. Due to blizzard conditions in New York, Warner Bros. Home Entertainment had to cancel the New York premiere of Justice League Throne of Atlantis on Sunday. They did instead go ahead with the Yahoo panel screening and also release a new interview clip with Matt Lanter, the voice of Aquaman. Justice League Throne of Atlantis, the next entry in the popular ongoing set series of DC Universe original movies, is now available as a Blu-ray combo pack, DVD and digital HD. Get yours from our online store. Warner Bros. Home Entertainment hosted the world premiere of LEGO DC Comics Superheroes Justice League vs. Bizarro League at the Paley Center for Media in New York on Saturday, January 24th, and Superman homepage reporter T.A. Hewitt attended the event, where he was able to conduct red carpet interviews with some of the voice cast and filmmakers, including James Arnold Taylor, the voice of The Flash, Troy Baker, the voice of Batman, and filmmaker Brandon Vietti. Check them out at the website now. Warner Home Video also released a new preview clip from Justice League vs. Bizarro League, which is set for release on February 10th. The clip features Flash, Superman and a host of others. Watch it in full at our website now. Actor Jude Law was once at the top of director Brett Ratner's list to play the role of Superman in the never-made Superman movie written by J.J. Abrams around 2002-2003. In a new interview with MTV.com, Jude Law explains how he tried on the costume and why he decided not to accept the responsibility of playing the Man of Steel.
At the time, I was like, I really didn't want to. I just sort of thought, I don't want to spend the rest of my life being that guy who played Superman or being Superman. You know, if you ever get caught smoking a fag or, you know, I mean, you're Superman and you've ruined the lives of all the children around the world. And
Mommy, why is Superman smoking?
And also my kids, I had kids, and I thought, God, Daddy's super. I don't know, I couldn't quite write it.
In TV news, Mehcad Brooks has officially been cast in the role of James Olsen for the Supergirl TV series set to premiere on CBS later this year. Jimmy will be an attractive photographer at Catco, the media company where Kara Zor-El works as an assistant to Cat Grant. Brooks is best known for his roles in Necessary Roughness, True Blood and Desperate Housewives. Laura Vandervoort, who played Kara Zor-El in the TV series Smallville, tweeted a congratulations to new Supergirl actor Melissa Benoist on being cast in the role for the upcoming CBS TV series. She said, "Wanted to congratulate you on this wonderful journey you have ahead of you. All the best, up, up and away." We expect more cast announcements to be made in the coming weeks. DC Entertainment announced that the DC Super Friends toy line will be turned into a series of 15 3-minute animated shorts set to launch on television in the spring, that's April-May, that will be accompanied by an app to further connect audiences to the toys and characters. In comic book news, USA Today posted a 6-page sneak peek inside the upcoming 3rd volume in the Superman Earth 1 graphic novel series. Superman Earth 1 Volume 3 follows a young Clark Kent as he continues his journey toward becoming the world's greatest superhero. The graphic novel will be released on February 4th. You can pre-order your copy from our online store now in hardcover format or for the Kindle. Comic books we reviewed this week included Batman Superman number 18, which was reviewed by Alyssa Gossage, who said, "Each issue in this story arc leaves you wanting more," and she gave this issue a 5 out of 5. James Lance reviewed Supergirl number 38, giving it a score of 5 out of 5, saying, "I thoroughly enjoyed how some plot threads came together." Injustice Year 3 Chapter 17 was reviewed by T.A. Hewitt, who gave it a 2 out of 5, saying, "The writing here is little better than pedestrian." We hope to have TA's review of Justice League very soon. Superman comics available this week from January 28th include Injustice Year 3 Chapter 18 digital comic has been available since January 27th. Earth 2 World's End number 17. Multiversity Guidebook number 1, which is available in a Ryan Hughes sketch cover, a Tom Fowler variant cover, a Phil Jimenez variant cover, and a Grant Morrison sketch variant cover. New 52 Futures End number 39. And Infinite Crisis Chapter 34 digital comic will be available February 1st. Show that Superman or Supergirl in your life just how much they mean to you this Valentine's Day. Get a Valentine's Day mailbox with 32 Valentine's cards for just $10.50. Or how about these Justice League You're My Hero heart-shaped lollipops for only $9.88. These and other great Valentine's Day gift ideas are available from your one-stop Superman shop, the Superman Homepage online store at supermanhomepage.com/shop. In other news, back in April 2012, images surfaced from the never-made Justice League video game developed by Double Helix, which was supposed to be a tie-in to the Justice League Mortal movie helmed by George Miller. It gave fans a glimpse at what might have been. Now in 2015, a couple of short videos of the Hero vs. Hero title were posted online via the P2P Online YouTube channel. There's a Batman vs. Superman fight and a Bizarro vs. Bane fight. Check them out at our website now. Episode 121 of Radio KAL, the monthly podcast of the Superman homepage, is now available to listen to. In this month's show, Scotty and I discuss all the latest rumours surrounding the Batman v Superman movie, Henry Cavill's comments, Amy Adams on returning to Lois Lane, Scoot McNairy's role, Justice League Throne of Atlantis, Justice League vs. Bizarro League, Melissa Benoist's Supergirl, Convergence titles for April, all the latest Superman comic books, and much more. Check it out at supermanhomepage.com/radio. That's all the news there was for the week January 23rd to January 29th. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com.
Great Scott! Great Scott! Great Scott!
Hello everyone, and thank you for watching another great episode of Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about Man of Steel. Now, I've already talked about this, but it's come up again recently, and almost daily it comes up on the Facebooks and the Twitters and the people trying to continuously berate us with their point about how the Zack Snyder / Man of Steel Superman and upcoming Batman vs. Superman or the Superman sequel of sorts is not our Man of Steel, is not the Superman you know and love, is not the Superman that we've all grown up with and learned about. I wanted to remind everyone that in one of his initial appearances in the Superman comic book, Zod and friends were killed by Superman. And they weren't killed in battle, they weren't killed in a moment of desperation, they weren't killed when it had to be done, there was no sense of urgency. The trio had already lost their powers, and Superman, in a moment of judge, jury, and executioner, decided that they were far too dangerous to leave alive even without their powers, and he had to murder them with a box of kryptonite. He opens it up, they die, begging, please spare us, blah, blah, blah. He does not spare them, he kills them. Later on, he exiles himself into space, goes crazy because he can't believe he's taken some lives, and then comes back as the Guardian, and then decides to be Superman again when he's able to clear his head or when he's able to remember who he was, because he lost himself in making that decision. Much is similar in Man of Steel. Now, we haven't seen the continuation of this story, and maybe some of the editing is questionable because they kind of go to a humorous scene right after it happens. But when Superman is fighting Zod, and he's in that position where Zod's about to immediately kill a family, and not only that, the city has been partially destroyed, which is another thing people continue to complain about and blame Superman for. This is a young Superman who just became Superman, who is fighting an army of his equals, who are all more powerful than any human, and who are all able to break out of any imprisoning device Superman might be able to put him in, at least that exists. And so far, he hasn't had that much access to his planet's technologies other than the one ship. And so he would be unaware if there was a Phantom Zone projector or a way to remove their powers, which I've always called a Donner MacGuffin and hated it from the beginning. Even though Lester was the director of Superman, the script came from something that was created by Donner. And in the Donner script, he turns back time in both movies, which is crazy, and luckily we didn't get to see it twice. But when he removes their powers at the end of Superman 2 because he lost his own powers earlier on and had this crystal that he was able to get them back with, it's a lot of just made-up crap that they said, well, we got to do this because how else is he going to defeat 3 of himself? And he realizes it when he's fighting in Metropolis. And no, the destruction in that movie isn't as great as the destruction in Man of Steel, but I would submit that the destruction in Man of Steel is much more realistic. If you had 20 soldiers who had been trained to destroy and who had been trained to recreate Krypton and didn't care about Earthlings, there would be very little one Superman could do to stop them. It's not like he could say, well, hang on, let's move this away from where they are. And I realize people say, but Superman always moves the battle away from Metropolis. I think if he could, he would. But it was very urgent. And Zod wasn't going to go, oh, okay, we'll go fight on the moon so no one gets hurt. Zod didn't care about people getting hurt. Zod was going to destroy the whole planet. I've already argued all of this, but it came up recently, and it made me think about a few things, and that's why I wanted to reiterate. Things like this cartoon here. The Superman you know and love, it says, and you got, you'll have to kill me. It's the Zod from the Man of Steel thing. And it's Superman in his baby blue Christopher Reeve outfit from the earlier movies where he says, no, I don't do that. And then in the next scene, we see the Zack Snyder Superman and Zod saying, you'll have to kill me, snap. Sure, whatever. And he looks sheepish about it. This is complete bull. I mean, if you watched the movie, you see that when Superman does what he has to do in that moment, what he hates doing, what he regrets doing, he begs Zod to stop. He says, please stop. Don't do this. Let's come together on some sort of an agreement. Let's figure out a way we can all live, together. Zod won't stop. And not only will he not stop in that moment, but Superman knows that if he lets him go, it's going to continue. More things are going to get destroyed. More people are going to be in danger. And the next time, Zod might have the jump on him. And he does what he immediately regrets and regretted before doing it. And then he falls to his knees. He screams. He's clearly teary. He's very emotional. And he hates that he had to do it. And he's going to regret it for the rest of his life. Then they cut to a scene that's kind of comedic. And so people said he didn't really care. Maybe there should have been some more time there. I don't know. But they wanted to get that next scene in. But I think it was clear that it wasn't Superman saying, oh, sure, whatever, and just snapping his neck willy-nilly and not caring. I don't even know if he knew he could do that. It was just something he had to do in desperation. And I bring this up because recently I was berated once again for posting on a comment thread where people were posting about how terrible Man of Steel was and how it's not Superman and how they hated it. And I always come in and say, well, there were these precedents. He killed the Zod people in the comics. He clearly regretted it. And then I get attacked. Scott, why are you so defensive? You don't have to say anything when people are attacking a movie. And, I thought after years of, and this kind of happened, I posted a Walking Dead picture on the Superman homepage Facebook page because I'm one of the administrators, not because I thought I could get away with it. I just wasn't thinking. I was excited. I thought some of the people who also liked the homepage would like to see that it was coming back on TV, and I was excited about it. And immediately I got attacked by people. How dare you? Taking advantage of being administrator? Okay, I'm sorry. I took it down. But I would have thought that after all these years of talking to you guys and hopefully having people who are viewing some of these videos when we put up the Speedy Bulletin each week, I thought maybe I'd have some leeway or some respect or some admiration from people out there. But it seems like either people don't know, this guy who attacked me for defending the movie when he was attacking it to begin with, a negative post, and I was trying to inject some sense and some logic into it. He maybe doesn't even know about my connection to the Superman homepage, which is the most comprehensive and best Superman site out there, bar none, including DC, that doesn't put a lot of input into every single hero. Their page on Superman is very small. They don't have the amount of information. So for me, doing this thing on here and having a lot of people to talk to and having a lot of, I would have thought that maybe some would say, well, you're kind of an expert on Superman, or you kind of know a lot about Superman, or we're going to take your word for it, or you know, I don't agree, I don't like the movie, but you know, thanks for your input, it makes a little more sense now, or something, as opposed to me just being a peon. And not that I'm any different than anybody else, we're all fans, but I just seem like I get a lot more disrespect than I get people, you know, understanding what I'm trying to say. So it bothered me a little bit, so I wanted to bring it up again, because this whole thing, I got no stake in Man of Steel, but I liked the movie a lot, and I think it was the best realistic portrayal on screen that we've seen of Superman. And I think that there's a lot of precedent for what happened, and I do wish that the filmmakers didn't decide to go controversial, but it's not like a lot of these fanboys say it is, where Superman will just snap necks willy-nilly, and I hear it all the time, like, well, let's just hope he doesn't snap Batman's neck. Yes, very funny, but clearly he's not going to go around doing that. That's not his thing. Thanks for watching, everybody, and remember, always look up in the sky.